Hey guys, how's it going? I know I haven't uploaded in a while, I've been sick, I know you don't care, so let's just get on with this little tutorial that we're going to make. So we're going to make a tutorial about using grappling hook, and there are a couple online about using like rigid bodies, but this one's going to be using the Unity character controller with like custom gravity and stuff like that, and kind of how to, it's really simple, just like kind of a raycast, and then sending the game objects in the direction of whatever you're doing. And so we're just going to be making this really simple, really easy to do, like little grappling hook. So without further ado, let's get going. Easy. All right, so to get us started on our little grappling hook adventure here, I've got this scene set up. I made some like pro builder little scene here, made this little grappling hook in Blender, and so basically all we're going to be doing is we're going to be targeting these orange things and climbing basically across the level using our grappling hook script. It should just be one script, and we'll get this going. So let us see. So let's first create a script. We'll call it grappling hook. Great. And you know how to do it. Open it up, and we will see what's going on in here. Okay, so first things first. I like to erase everything out of here. And so let's see what we need. We need a serialized field. We're going to do this private, just to keep up good practices. You don't want to make anything public unless you have to. So we'll say grappling hook. We'll do another one of these. Private transforms, we'll call it hand pose. So that's going to be where our hand is. Our grappling hook's going to move. The hand will stay stationary. We're going to need a layer mask. So we'll say layer mask. We'll say grapple layer. We're going to need a distance that we're going to like grapple, so we'll say max grapple distance. Okay, so we are going to shoot array out there, and then okay, let's see. So we'll just go through update and see what we need. So we'll say if input.get mouse button down is 0, right? So if we left click, then we're going to say shoot hook, whatever. All right, so now let's do private void shoot hook. Simple. Going to do if we are already shooting, so we don't want to shoot if we're already shooting, or if we're grappling, right? So if we're in the process of actually grappling, we just want to return. So that's what we need right there. Is we need a little bool, right? We need some bools. Private bool is shooting and is grappling, and you probably don't have to do this, but just in case, I like to just make sure that they're false. Is grappling equals false at the start, and so we'll set them to true when we need to. All right. So we'll say at the start of this, we'll say is shooting is true, and when we're done, is shooting is false, right? So in the middle of shooting, we're going to be doing something. So first we need a raycast hit. We're going to be shooting a raycast towards whatever we're grappling on. We're going to need a raycast hit, and we're going to need a ray, which we're going to use our camera.main. And this basically, I'm using the camera, as a first-person controller. If you were to use a third person, you'd probably use like the gun point, or if you're using like an actual grappling hook, you can use like the fire point of the gun as well. It would not be an issue. Basically, wherever you're aiming though is where it's going to shoot the ray from. So that's where we're going. We're going to shoot our ray at where we're clicking here, and you could probably do it on a third person the same way. Just have the grappling hook come out of the gun wherever you want it. So now we will do if, we're just going to do a raycast check and a ray check. So we'll say if physics.raycast, we'll say ray out hit, so we're going to get out our hit, and we're going to say our max grapple distance, because we need to do distance, and then we need a layer mask, so we'll say grapple layer, right? Very simple. If this is true, then we are going to say we are grappling, right? Is grappling is true. Our grapple hook, what is it called? Grappling hook, the parent of the grappling hook will be set to null. So we're going to lose our grappling hook. It's going to go on its own, which is fine. Great, it's good. We're going to say, we're going to have the grappling hook look at a position. So we'll say hit.point. And actually, since we're going to use that point outside of this little shoot hook function, we can actually save that too. So we'll say private vector3. We'll call this the hook point. I realize I didn't underscore those, but whatever, we'll get back to that later if you want. We can call this the hook point, right? We can actually set hook point. So if we get a valid hit, we'll we'll set the hook point to hit that point. So right now what this is doing, and we'll just do a print here, we'll say hit. That way we know what's going on. So what this is doing right now is we're checking if we're already shooting or grappling, we're not going to do it. Then we're setting shooting to true. If we aren't shooting, we're going to shoot. We're going to shoot a ray at the whatever we're going to grapple at. And if the raycast hits something that we want, we're going to set our hook point to that point. Our grappling, we're going to start grappling. We're going to set our grappling hook parent to null. It's going to look at it. And then in the next function here, or in the next little section here, we're going to send it shooting. But just to test it right now, let's make sure everything works here. So it should look at it one time and then not let us go because the grappling is going to be true, right? So let's set up this function first. Let's set up everything here. So I'm going to put it on the hand pose. You can put it really almost wherever you want since we're using, we're not using transform.position. So I'm going to say the grappling hook is here. Oh, nope. Grappling hook is here. The hand pose is here. We're going to want to set up our grapple layer. Okay, so grapple. I made this layer. You can make it too. I don't know if I made it in the project that I'm sharing, but you can make your own project. Just click grapple, set these to grapple, these points right here. And if you don't have that option, right, you got to add a layer. You just make one called grapple. Easy stuff, not a big deal. All right, and so now that that's set up, everything should be good. Our max grapple distance, we'll say right now is 30. Right, so we're going to go 30 units in one direction. We're going to shoot that ray and see if we can do it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it worked. Yeah, our hook is not parented to us, and it's pointed in the direction that it's going to start grappling. So let's move on. We can go to the next section, which is going to be actually shooting that grappling hook over there. So that is good. Now we'll say in the update, we can do if is grappling. So obviously this is only going to be true if we get a hit, right? Because that's where we're setting it true. So it won't be running this unless we get the hit. So if is grappling is true, we're going to take our grappling hook and we're going to set that position equal to, we can easily set it, like if you want to just set it to the hook point and have it teleport, you can have it teleport. I like to lerp it, so I'm just going to say vector3.lerp. We're going to lerp our grappling hook position with the hook point, right? The hook point, the hook position. And then the speed, we're going to need a speed variable, right? So let's go up here. We'll say serialized field, private, float, hook speed. Okay, easy. And we'll say the hook speed, basically just put the hook speed here and we'll multiply it by time.delta time. Since we're doing this in the update function, always good to do that with time.delta time. Okay, so right now it's going to be just sending that grappling hook that way. And basically, it could be a good time to test. We didn't do that much different though, right? So let's say, basically all that's gonna happen now is the grappling hook should go towards that, where am I? Towards that, oh, we need to save invalid. Oh, I must have made some kind of a error here. I don't see an error. See what happens. Okay, yeah, it just was one mistake here. I saved it. Okay, so we actually have to set the hook speed. So let's say the hook speed is like 5 or something. So the hook right now, if this all works, should be going directly at the point. Yep, so you see how it went there? We have our hook there. So next we have to have it shoot us with it, right? Simple thing we can do, not a big deal here. We take our if, we're gonna lerp it there, but then if vector3.distance of our grappling hook dot position. So if the distance between our grappling hook and the hook point is less than, let's say, 0.5, we're going to move to the next spot. So it's already there, right? 0.5 is pretty small. And now that it's there, we're going to take our player body. So let's get a reference to that as well. We'll put that up here with the other transforms. We'll say player body. Okay, so we'll say we want to send our player body there. So player body dot position is equal to vector3.lerp. We're going to say we're going to get it to our grappling hook dot position. Then we're going to send it to our hook point. No, we're going to take our player body dot position, sorry. And we're going to set it to our hook point. But we want to also give it some offset, right? So we're going to say we want to reach our hook point minus our offset. And so we'll make another variable for offset. And we'll say we want to go at the same speed as our hook, right? Time.delta time. And that's that. So we need to make a variable for offset. That's fine. We'll do up here, we'll do serialized field, private, vector3 offset. These all serialized things are things you can customize. All right, so the offset is really simple to figure out, right? What I'm going to use for the offset here is, since this hand pose is here, I'm going to take this hand pose's position and just put it as the offset. So when we get there, we're going to be, going up to the point where our hand is where our hand should be, right? That is the ultimate goal. So let's see what happens. It should drag us up there. The only thing that's stopping us right now is our script with gravity, right? So we have this script here using the character controller. So all we want to do is we want to be able to turn that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we'll just go to the top here. We'll say private character controller, and we'll call this controller. And just remember, like, this is just a very general thing. We're just getting something working. If you guys want to change it, you're welcome to. I'm just trying to show you how this works and how to maybe solve some problems while you're at it. We're going to take this controller. We're going to basically turn it off when it's time to send us flying, right? Controller.enabled. Oh, enabled. How do I spell that? Equals false. Okay, so now our controller is going to be disabled. We should be able to fly and reach the point that we want to reach. Let's see what happens when we do it. When we test it here. Look there. And what's going on? We did not set our player body. It's always something. There we go. Player. Easy. Just gotta make sure you drag the things in the right spots. And there we go. Let's see. Oh, and there we go. So now we're here, right? The grappling seems to have worked. We are perfect, in a good spot. And so now we're basically gonna do another distance check. So if vector3.distance, in fact, we can even nest this inside. We can nest this inside of here. So if our vector3.distance of our player body position is closer to a hook point minus our offset, right? Because that's the variable we use, is less than 0.5, then we will enable our character controller. We're going to set is grappling to false, right? Because we're not grappling anymore. Equals false. And we are going to, let's see, that seems like it, right? So we're no longer grappling and it's false. So let's see what happens. We go here, up, there, and we're down. Okay, so one more thing, we have to reparent that grappling hook. So we'll say grappling hook dot set parent is equal to our hand pose, right? All right, hand pose. And now it should fall with us. Now it will have an issue. It will look like it's pointing in a weird direction. We'll fix that in a second. Not an issue. So up, there, and there we go. We got it. Up, there we go. We got it. Up, there, we got it. And we're going. Okay, so right now we have the basics of a grappling hook. Now let's just fix how it looks, and it should all work well. So let's go on here, and we'll say, we'll basically set, we can just do another check here. So if our grappling hook dot parent, so if our grappling hook parent is equal to the hand pose, this is only going to happen if it's equal to the hand pose. We're going to basically set our grappling hook dot local position equal to whatever the local position is here. So 0, 0, 0. So we're going to say vector3 dot lerp. I will say grappling hook dot local position, and then the where we want it to go. So we want it to go to vector3.0, and we can set whatever speed you want. I'm just going to set it to 100. It's probably going to go faster than we can set. We might as well just set it. Honestly, we can just set the position. Let's just do that. So grappling hook dot local position is equal to vector3.0. So on the end, it's going to get into the right spot, and grappling hook dot local rotation is equal to, what did we put? 90, 0, 0. So quaternion dot Euler, whatever you want, is equal to 90, 0, equal to new vector3. We'll say 90, 0, and 0. And that should make it look normal again. See what happens? And we could always lerp it, you could always just lerp it and make it like slide back into position, however you want to do it. I'm just doing this for however it looks, it's fine. It's like teleports, not a big deal. We're working on this little thing here. So right now we have this. And I think the last thing to do is to make like a little line renderer to make the rope, right? So other than that, this is basically, you know, the grappling hook. So we will go with a line renderer. Where's my line renderer? Do I already have one on here? Let me just show you what's going on. Okay, so I have a line renderer here. Let's just delete it and we'll start fresh. So basically I'm going to add component. I'm going to add a line renderer. I'm adding it actually to this grappling hook, but you know, in the end you could just add it wherever you want. You could add it on this. I'm just adding it on this grappling hook object because that's where I feel like it could be. I mean, it really could be on this as well. And it might, you know, it might be better. Let's put it on. Let's put it on there. So let's go to our hand pose where we have the grappling hook script, put the line renderer on there, and we will set the width to be like 0.07, something tiny. We will set the material to be default line, and we will set the color to be whatever color you want. I'm going to pick brown, like a rope, right? Well, some kind of rope color, that's fine. You can just set that there. Looks good. We have our rope, and that should be that. All right, and so now we will go here, back to our field here. We'll say, we'll go to the top here. We'll say serialize field, private line renderer, line renderer. Okay, and so we will say, we're going to do, basically when we shoot it, we want the line renderer enabled, right? So let's say line renderer is enabled when we shoot it, dot enabled equals true. And we're going to say line renderer is disabled when we are done, right? So line renderer equals enabled equals false. Okay. Easy, simple. And at the start, I guess we'll also disable it. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to set its position. So we'll say late update. In late update, we're going to do if line renderer dot enabled. So if it's enabled, and we'll say line renderer dot what is it called? Set position. Yeah. We'll say index 0 of the position and where it starts basically. So what I want to do is I want to start it. Let's go back to this grappling hook. I already have a position set up, but basically I want to start it here. So wherever this position is, let's see. I don't even see it on here. Is the gizmos off or something? Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any gizmos. Oh, because W's not pushed. All right. So yeah, I put it here at the base. That's where I want to start drawing the line. And so I have called this grappling hook endpoint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make another transform here. Say serialize field, private transform, grappling hook endpoint. And we will set that as position 0 of the line renderer. Okay. And we'll set position 1 to be our what is it called? Our hand, right? Actually, we can do this backwards. I think I messed this up, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. We have our grappling hook endpoint, and we have our hand pose dot position. We have our endpoint dot position, right? And so if our line renderer is enabled, it should be drawing at these points. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it works. We got our grappling hook here. Push play and shoot. Did not work. Let's see what happened. Oh, our line renderer is not dragged in. So let's drag it in right here. Ultimately, you could just do a get component if you wanted to, but I'm just trying to show you like the easiest way. I mean, it is confusing. There is a none there. So what's the none? Grappling hook endpoint. Let's get that. Make sure that's in the right spot. Perfect. All right. So, I mean, ideally, I wouldn't be doing this many serialized fields or this much craziness, but there we go. We got our grappling hook. Looks good. I am pleasantly surprised that this is working like the first time. Looks good. And so that is how you make a grappling hook in Unity. Like and subscribe if you like this video, please. Let me know what you would want to see in the future. Maybe I'll do like a wall grab or something. Just something pretty simple. I'm going to be doing some simple tutorials, maybe some other videos about, you know, being a professional game developer, maybe playing some indie games. So if you have an indie game, send it my way. I will definitely try to make some time to play it for you guys. Maybe play it on the channel and kind of give, you know, constructive criticism or feedback, or even just say like, hey, this is an excellent game. It should be getting, you know, better coverage. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with anyone that you like. And thank you so much. Hope we continue this excellent and fine journey together. That was weird.